All right. Good day, everyone. This is Gurography. It's a free let review hub. Okay, so um, I do daily mock boards. We do daily mock boards sa Facebook. So if you want to join, ano nyo lang po, i-search nyo lang po yung Gurography. Okay, I do also live on TikTok. Okay, and post videos there, mga video lectures. Pag masyadong mahaba yung video lectures, pag hindi ko siya ma-post doon, puntahan nyo po sa aking YouTube channel. Okay? So, let's start. Alright, so general education. Okay? So, uh, ba, pinamak board ko today to sa Facebook and pinalive ko din at gagawan ko ng video now because lumabas po ito. Nababasa ko po na lumabas to ngayong September 2025. Okay, in anyway, actually, meron akong nung SPLE June 2025, okay, yung mga naalala kong tanong is, shinare ko din sa aking videos. You can check it on YouTube. Yun yung mga first four videos ko. So, you can check. Okay. So, mostly naulit dito. Alright? Number one, what is the most effective way for adults to teach children about environmental protection? Okay, letter A, giving long lectures about climate change. Letter B, setting a good example by not littering and doing recycling. Letter C, only celebrating Earth Day once a year. Letter D, letting them watch documentaries alone. Alright, and this is 5 seconds. So, ang sagot po niyan ay letter B, setting a good example by not littering and doing recycling. Okay, so ito pa kasi yung pinaka-tangible, okay? Yung nakikita ng mga bata na may ginagawa ka, 'di ba? So, yun ang fina-follow nila. Very concrete, 'di ba? Kung itong giving long lectures about climate change, um, especially only celebrating Earth Day once a year, letting them watch documentaries alone, 'di ba? Yung parang it's very passive, baka nga hindi pa sila makarelate. Kasi sabi niya children, mga bata, 'di ba? Yung mga bata, alam naman natin, very visual. Alright, number two, waltz is to Germany as USA is to blank. A, polka, letter B, flamenco, letter C, breakdancing, and letter D, tango. Okay, and yes, ang sagot po niyan ay breakdancing. So, nung let naman namin, ang tanong naman is, ano yung dance na galing sa Spain? And this is flamenco. Alright? So, lumabas daw sa ngayong September 2025 sa choices yung polka. Okay, so linagay ko na din, it's galing sa Czech Republic ang polka. Kasi malay natin next time, ang tatanungin naman is ano yung dance na galing sa Czech Republic. So at least alam nyo na polka. Alright, tango naman ay galing sa Rio de Plata. It's a region. Parang yun na yung border between Uruguay and Argentina. Okay? So, ang breakdancing, indeed, galing siya sa USA, sa the Bronx, specifically sa the Bronx borough of New York City, na pinauso ng mga Puerto Ricans and African Americans. Okay? So, additional info, ang sinulat ko dito is, pag performed by men pala, which I didn't know, ngayon alam ko na, is called b-boying, and when performed by women, it's called b-girling. Alright. Lumabas din pala sa choices nung SPLE namin was tarantella. Okay? So, the tarantella is galing sa Italy. Okay, number three, a person find themselves in a situation where they must choose between two negative outcomes. The ethical guideline they are following is A, the end does not justify the means. Letter B, between two evils, choose the lesser evil. Letter C, basic principle of double effect. And letter D, proof of integrity. Okay. So ito talaga, i-discuss ko yung four na principles na lumabas. Okay, isa-isahin natin ito, yung ABCD, lahat ng options, okay? Instead of me trying to explain ko na yung meaning nun or what, ilagay na lang natin sa question where you can critically analyze it. Alright? So ang sagot niyan ay between two evils, choose the lesser evil. Okay, so nung nagre-review ako, marami ding nalilito dito kasi what they thought dun sa between two evils, choose the lesser evil is, akala nila, ang isang outcome is maganda and then yung isang outcome ay bad. Hindi po yon. ang component po nito is, yung between two evils, ibig sabihin yung both, okay? Yung both na outcome niya is negative. But it says there, choose the lesser evil. Okay, so ang ibig sabihin nun, i-choose mo yung mas hindi masama. Okay, or mas hindi magkakos ng harm. Okay, so yun po yung pinaka-gist ng between two evils, choose the lesser evil. Okay, and ang next na tanong is an application kasi more mm, it's highly probable na yung mga principles na to ay ilalagay nila sa isang sitwasyon. Piliin mo doon kung alin ang nagre-reflect sa ganung principle. So, let's do this. Number 4, which of the following scenarios is the best example of applying the ethical principle between two evils? Choose the lesser evil. Okay, letter A, a doctor prescribes a painful treatment to cure a patient's illness. Letter B, a mayor evacuates a coastal town to save lives before a hurricane, knowing the evacuation itself may cause injuries and displacement. Sorry. Letter C, a student cheats on an exam to avoid failing a course. And letter D, a driver swerves to hit a stray dog to avoid hitting a pedestrian. All right. Nahulog na. Maliit kasi yung table ko. Alright, so ang sagot po niyan ay a mayor evacuates a coastal town to save lives before a hurricane, knowing the evacuation itself may cause injuries and displacement. Okay? Kasi ang sabi natin, between two evils, choose the lesser evil. Okay, ang sinasabi natin doon is dalawang negative outcome. Okay, pero yung isa mas magaan or it will cause lesser harm. So let's identify. Okay. Ano yung dalawang outcome niya dito? Yung isang outcome niya is maraming mamamatay. All right? Yung isang outcome niya is magkakos ng injuries and displacement. Displacement kasi aalis na sila sa kanilang mga bahay, 'di ba? So, makikita mo talaga na ito yung best na nagre-reflect dun sa principle na between two evils, choose the lesser evil. Okay, yung letter D, nung nag-live ako sa TikTok, yes, meron ding ano, and yeah, this is very, something that we can argue naman talaga. Yung a driver swerves to hit a stray dog to avoid hitting a pedestrian. So, both naman talaga niyan ay negative outcome, di ba? Yung you hit a stray dog or you hit a pedestrian. Pero it's just a matter of pag pinili mo 'to na ano, na sagot, ibig mong sabihin mas mahalaga yung buhay ng tao kaysa sa buhay ng dog, 'di ba? So we can always argue about it. But still, andun na yung letter B, mas nagre-reflect siya doon, okay? Mas exact yung sa letter B. Okay. Ang lumalabas pala dito sa ano na 'to, dun sa mga sa pamak ko nung nagre-review ako is yung ano, yung sabi niya na na-choose nag-choose yung USA to bomb Japan. Okay, yung mag-nuclear bomb sila. Okay, so anong principle daw ang ano doon, nag nagre-reflect doon. And then ang sagot doon is between two evils, choose the lesser evil, okay? Kasi, yes, maraming mamamatay pag nag-nuclear bomb sila doon, okay? Pero, yung greater evil doon is yung ginagawa ng Japan noon na 'di ba, they were very, uh, how do you call that? Napakatapang nila and they were very murderous. Okay, they were very murderous, okay? Hindi lang sa Pilipinas, okay, sa China, 'yon. Ganon. All right, number 5, a pregnant woman is diagnosed with uterine cancer. Doctors determine that not operating will lead to her death and the death of the fetus. However, the only life-saving treatment, a hysterectomy, will directly result in the death of the unborn child. Under which ethical principle might this medical decision be justified? Okay, letter A, the end justifies means. Letter B, between two evils, choose the lesser evil. Letter C, principle of double effect. And letter D, proof of integrity. Alright, so ang sagot niya na ay principle of double effect. Okay, so double effect. Ibig sabihin dalawa. Okay? So ang pinaka-component naman ng principle of double effect is may good effect, yung isang may yung may isang good effect at saka may isang bad effect. Yung good effect, yun talaga yung pinaka-goal. Okay? Yun yung pinaka-intention nung action. Okay? Yung bad effect, hindi yon intention. Alright? Okay. The next question will be an application anyway. But ito, linagay ko lang dito, yung first daw na ginamitan ng principle of double effect is by Thomas Aquinas, dun sa work niya na Summa Theologica. Okay, so linagay ko lang dyan kasi baka next time yan naman yung lalabas na tanong, especially sa mga soksay major like me. Alright, so we go to the practical application niya. According to the basic principle of double effect, which of the following is the most critical factor in determining if this action is morally permissible? Okay? Letter A, the overall good outcome of ending the war sooner must be greater than the evil of the civilians' deaths. Letter B, the commander must not intend to kill the civilians as part of the mission. Letter C, the commander must feel remorse and regret for the foreseeable deaths of the civilians. Letter D, the action must be approved by a superior officer to share the moral responsibility. Okay? Okay, so ang answer niyan is the commander must not intend to kill the civilians as part of the mission. Okay, so nabanggit ko nga kanina, 'di ba? Yung bad effect is not an intention. So basically andyan na nakalagay na must not intend to kill. Wala siyang intention, okay? Na gawin yung bad effect. All right? Even this one, the overall good outcomes of ending the war sooner must be greater than the evil of the civilians' death. Hindi po siya component ng principle of double effect. Yung the commander must feel remorse and regret for the foreseeable deaths, okay? Hindi rin po component yung whatever feeling man, okay, or emotions about it. And then yung approval then, like the letter D, the action must be approved. Yung approval, it is also not a component of the principle of double effect. Number seven, a philosophical maxim that argues one cannot morally commit a wrong action like stealing or lying to achieve a positive result. Letter A, the end does not justify the means. Letter B, proof of integrity. Letter C, between two evils, choose the lesser evil. Letter D, basic principle of double effect. All right, and ang answer natin is the end does not justify the means. Okay, so ano yung mean? Okay, yun yung hindi ka nice. Okay, so the end does not, ano yung mean? Yun yung way. Okay, yun yung method. Yun yung paraan mo to achieve yung end. And yung end is the consequent or yung result. So basically, ang sinasabi niya is, hindi porke maganda yung hangarin mo. Okay, wow. Okay, yung hangarin mo, which is the end, okay, uh, kahit ano na yung gagamitin mo na paraan is okay. Okay, that is basically it is. Okay? All right. Number 8. In which of the following situations is the principle the end does not justify the means best demonstrated? Okay, so dapat meron tayong application. A doctor prescribes a medication with severe side effects to cure a patient's life-threatening illness. Letter B, a student breaks into the school's computer system to change a grade, hoping to qualify for a scholarship that will help their struggling family. Letter C, a government imposes a temporary curfew during a riot to prevent violence and protect public safety. Letter D, a driver speeds through a red light to rush a critically injured person to the hospital. Right? Right? So, ang sagot po niyan ay letter A. Okay? Because ano yung means niya? Okay, or ito muna. Ano yung end niya? Ano yung gusto niyang ma-achieve? Ang gusto niyang ma-achieve is to help their struggling family, which is good, 'di ba? Pero ano yung way niya? Yung way niya was he broke into the computer system para change niya yung grade niya. Okay? So, ito talaga yung nagre-reflect ng the end does not justify the means. All right. Number nine, a test of one's moral character, often presented by a situation where doing the right thing comes at a significant personal cost. Okay, letter A, between two evils, choose the lesser evil. Letter B, proof of integrity. Letter C, the end does not justify the means. Letter D, basic principle of double effect. All right. Okay, so the answer, okay, lumabas din daw to ngayon. Right? So, a proof of integrity. Okay, so ano yung pinaka ano niya? I-discuss ko lang po yung proof of integrity kasi ito yung bago. Okay, ito yung bago na principle na lumabas ngayong September. So, ang pinaka components ng proof of integrity is there should be consistency. Okay? Meaning nun is para may proof ka talaga na meron kang integrity, 'di ba? Meron kang honesty, may ethics, o yung integrity mo is dapat consistent ka, 'di ba? Hindi naman pwede na okay ngayon gusto kong maging honest and then bukas hindi. Okay? So that is not a proof of integrity. Okay, transparency. Okay, of course, 'di ba? For you to have an integrity, dapat transparent ka talaga, 'di ba? Ipakita mo talaga kung whatever yung nangyayari or ano yung totoo. And accountability. Ito yung papasok naman yung sinasabi niyang we're doing the right things come at a significant personal cost. Okay? So you will accept the accountability, 'di ba? Even na you will come in harm's way. All right? So yan po ang proof of integrity. Okay? So proof of integrity is ulit kasi baka malalabas na naman ulit is and ito pa pala, ang proof of integrity, dapat talagang meron kang tangible or documentation, okay, na to prove that you have integrity. Okay? That is why it's called proof of integrity. And as a result, ulitin ko, is dahil meron kang integrity, okay, you can come, it may come at a significant personal cost. Okay? Parang yung nangyayari ngayon, di ba? Yung mga, di ba, pag gusto mo talagang panindigan na you have an integrity, okay, usually marami ka talagang makakalaban, yung mga corrupt. Ay, number 10, in which of the following situations is proof of integrity best demonstrated? Letter A, a government official follows orders to hide evidence of corruption to protect their agency's reputation. Letter B, an employee reports their company's illegal dumping of toxic waste, knowing they may be fired, blacklisted, or face legal retaliation. Letter C, a CEO donates a portion of company profits to charity to reduce tax payments and improve public relations. Letter D, a doctor prescribes expensive unnecessary treatments to patients to meet hospital revenues. Right? Alright. So, ang sagot po niyan ay letter A. An employee reports their company's illegal dumping of toxic waste. Okay. Ano yung personal cost? Yung they can get fired, blacklisted, or face legal retaliation. Okay. So, kasi kahit yung letter A, letter C, at saka letter D, wala nga siyang integrity eh. Di ba? Integrity is not shown there. So, that is why ang best answer is, and the only correct answer is letter B. Number 11, what is the primary meaning of the term ambivalence? Alright. Okay, sa TikTok, maraming nagkamali dito. So, letter A, a state of uncertainty or indecisiveness between two different choices. Letter B, the simultaneous existence of contradictory feelings or attitudes towards a person, object, or idea. Letter C, a lack of interest, concern, or emotion. Indifference. Letter D, the belief that all outcomes are ultimately meaningless or without value. Okay. Actually, kahit yun nga, ang ano natin dito is magkamali na tayo dito sa mga during review natin basta tumama tayo sa actual. Kaya okay lang na magkamali, 'di ba? Alright, so ang sagot po niyan ay ambivalence is yung simultaneous existence of contradictory feelings or attitudes toward a person, object, or idea. Okay, so nagkokontra yung feelings mo. Okay, parang sa ex mo. Alright? Okay, so ang isang parang uh, Pinakamagandang distractor dito is letter A. Maraming sumagot dito ng letter A sa live sa TikTok, yung a state of uncertainty or indecisiveness between two different choices. Yan, okay. This is parang more on moral dilemma, yung letter A. Okay? Okay, so ang meaning ng ambivalence is a strength on both sides. And yung ambivalence was coined by Paul Eugen Bleuler. All right. Number 12. The following are examples of ambivalence except letter A, feeling both excitement and terror about moving to a new country. Letter B, wanting to eat a cake but also wanting to stick to a diet. Letter C, pakikipagkapatao. Letter D, eto na nga, loving someone deeply but also resenting them for a past betrayal. Uy, sinong nakaka-relate? Okay, so, yes, ang sagot ay pakikipagkapwa-tao. Okay, so may mga nagkamali dun sa TikTok kasi na feeling ko hindi nila nakita yung except. Okay, so maraming ganito doon sa let, yung except or limited to or not, yung mga ganon. Okay, so bilugan nyo na yon agad. Alright? So tingnan natin. Feeling both excitement and terror. Okay, contradictory feeling. So tama naman yung letter A. Letter B, wanting to eat the cake pero gusto mo mag-stick. Okay, so ambivalent pa rin yung feeling mo. Letter D, loving someone deeply but also resenting them. So loving and hating, it's an ambivalent feeling. Alright? Those are ambivalent feelings, I mean. And pakikipagkapwa-tao, wala namang ambivalent doon, di ba? Actually, maganda nga yung ano doon kasi pakikipagkapwa-tao is, to foster yung shared identity and of course, solidarity. All right, number 13. Simplify the expression 3x plus 2y minus x plus 5y. Okay, so letter A, 2x plus 7y. Letter B, 4x plus 7y. Letter C, 3x plus 7y. And letter D, 2x plus 3y. Okay, so sa TikTok may nagkamali kasi yun nga, we have to be keen. Okay, dun sa mga pagaling ganitong simplify is yung mga yung mga ito, kung ano yung mga signs na andon. Alright? So ang sagot niya na ay 2x plus 7y. Yes, meron din ganito sa simplification. Parang hindi ata nawawala to sa let. And yeah, maganda naman talaga to. And okay lang na hindi mawala sa let to. 'Di ba? Kasi this is very basic math na we should know. Okay, math principle. Okay, so you combine the terms that are alike. So 3x tapos x, yan ipag ano mo siya. Right? I-align mo siya and then 2y plus 5y. And then don't forget to copy yung sign. Okay, yung operation sign. Okay, so that is why 3x minus x is 2x. Tapos both positive yung 2y at saka 5y. So 7y. All right, number 14. Maria borrows 1,200 at a simple interest rate of 5% per year. How much interest will she owe after 3 years? Okay, so this is not verbatim dun sa ngayong September 2025. Pero ito yung concept, okay? And this is a formula that you should memorize, okay? By heart. Kasi hindi ito nawawala. Even SPLE, we have this simple interest. Alright? So, ang sagot po niyan ay letter B. Okay, and kailangan nyo i-memorize. Okay, wala tayong choice. Very easy naman to memorize. Ang interest is PRT. Okay? I-PERT. IPRT. Okay, so ang principal is 1,200. Bakit naka-dollars na yan? Alright? Ang rate is, kamali ako, rate is 5% per year at saka yung time is 3 years. So don't forget yung rate na 5%, 'di ba? Is i-ano mo siya as decimal. All right? Sinulat ko na 'yan. And of course, i-times mo 2 times 0.5 kasi yun yung rate which is expressed as decimal and then yung 3 years. Okay? Be careful dun sa sa time kasi minsan ang ilalagay lang nila ay months. Okay, so don't forget, pag sinabi niyang 3 months, ang 3 months, ang time sa IPRT is per annually ba? Or per year. So, kung ang sinabi lang niyan ay 3 months, so 3 divided by 12. Alright? So, be careful with yung time. Number 15, babalik ta rin ko para ma-memorize nyo lang yung ano. If Maria paid 118 simple interest after 3 years at an annual interest rate of 5%, what was the principal amount of the loan? Okay, so, linagay ko lang to para ipakita how to get, okay, how to derive a formula out of the of the original formula. Okay, 8 A 1,000, letter B 1,200, letter C 1,500, and letter D 1,800 pesos. Says. All right. So let's show. Okay. All right. So ito, ang original na formula is interest is equals to um principal, rate, at saka time. Okay, pero ang hinahanap ngayon is yung principal. So, this is how you do it. Okay? So, ito pa rin, lagay mo yung original na formula, and then, para maiwan yung principal is, alisin mo yung rate tsaka okay, yan, by canceling. So, i-cancel mo both equations. So, ito, P, interest is ang formula ng principal is interest divided by rate times time. Okay? And then you will come up with letter B. Okay, number 16, hindi ito nawawala. Ito din, lumabas ng SPLE 2025. And if you want to check yung lumabas ng SPLE 2025, panoorin nyo pa yung 4-part videos ko. Tigta 10 point each. Hinati-hati ko sa apat na videos para hindi kayo mabored. So, yun po yung first four videos na in-upload ko sa YouTube. So, a circle is inscribed inside a square with a side length of 10 centimeter. What is the area of the circle? Okay, A, 25 pi centimeter squared. Letter B, 50 pi centimeter squared. Letter C, 75 pi centimeter squared. And letter D, 100 pi centimeter squared. All right, and the answer is 25 pi centimeter squared. Okay. So, i-explain ko lang din, although nasa ano to, kasi lumabas nga sa SPLE, so nasa other video ko, pero for the sake sa mga bago. All right, but I hope you will watch my videos, okay? Help na rin sa inyo and then help na rin sa akin. All right. So, ito, ang sabi niya, ang formula ng area is pi times radius raised to the second power. Alright? So, hanapin natin yung, kasi ang pi, hindi mo na kailangan hanapin. Okay, it's 3.14. Okay, ang radius dito is ito yung circle, from this circle to, okay, ito, bakit ko ginagamit yung ano ko? Nalisin natin yung aking iPad kasi lumilipat yung, okay. So, ang radius is from this circle here, papunta dito or papunta dito. Okay? So, basically, half of the circle. Okay? Pero, wala tayong radius. Okay? Wala tayong radius. Okay? So, ang hanapin na lang natin, ang meron ay 10 centimeter na side length. So, itong side length. Okay? Itong square. Okay? So, basically, parehas tong side length niya as the diameter of the circle. Okay, yung diameter of the circle is from here to here. Ang radius para makuha mo is hatiin mo yung diameter. Okay, so 10 centimeter is the diameter. Para makuha mo yung radius, hatiin mo. So, the radius is 5. Alright. But then, kung tignan nyo rin po yung options is, andun na yung pi. Andun na yung pi. So, hindi nyo na kailangang i-multiply pa yung yung amount ng pi na 3.14. So, basically, ito nga, A is radius times 5. Ito yung, pi times radius raised to the second power. Okay, so, basically, it's 25 pi centimeter squared. Pero, hindi ko maalala kung sa SPLE sinolve pa namin yung pi. Kaya hindi ko na maalala. So, you should be mapagmatyag talaga. Tignan mo kung nakalagay na yung pi, yung sign ng pi doon sa option or not. Okay? Otherwise, if wala doon, you have to solve it. Number 17. Samantha's aquarium has length, width, and height of 10 centimeter, 8 centimeter, and 6 centimeter respectively. Its volume is A, 24 centimeter cubic centimeter, letter B 72 cubic centimeter, letter C 240 cubic centimeter, and letter D 480 cubic centimeter. Okay. Ewan ko ba, favorite to ng PRC. Yung talagang hindi man lang talaga pinapalitan yung mga figures na andyan. Yan na yan. Okay. Ay, nako. Gas, gas. I cannot understand. All right. So, okay. So, baka lalabas verbatim pa rin yan. Okay, but still, ipakita ko pa rin how to come up, okay? Kasi baka palitan yung figures. Alright. So, ang aquarium is a rectangular prism. Okay, so to get the volume of a rectangular prism, the the formula is length times width times height. Okay, so ito na, given ng length ay 10 centimeter, width ay 8 centimeter, height is 6 centimeter. So you just have to multiply these three figures to come up with 480 centimeter squared. Okay, so balik ta rin ulit natin, okay? Para ano, kasi malay mo, next time, ang hindi nahahanapin doon, ang nakalagay nun is volume, edi kung may dyscalculia ka pa, edi tegi. Alright? So the volume of a rectangular box is 480 cubic centimeter. If its length is 10 centimeter and its width is 6 centimeter, what is its height? Okay, letter A, 4 centimeter. Letter B, 8 centimeter. Letter C, 12 centimeter. And letter D, 14 centimeter. Alright? Okay, so ulitin. Okay, so the answer is 8 centimeter. Okay? So ulitin ulit na yung ginawa natin dun sa interest na formula. Okay? Yan, ganyan ulit. It's the same. So ilagay mo yung original na formula and then you do cancellation. Okay? So i-divide mo yun yung ano, ito yung variables, okay, length, width, okay, para para height na lang yung maiwan. And then gawin mo din to kung ano yung ginawa mo sa right equation, yun din yung gawin mo sa left equation, okay? And then you will come up with the right formula. And then of course you have to substitute. So 480, all right, centimeter cubic centimeter. Okay, divided by ito, yan, ganyan. And then 8 centimeter na lang yung maiiwan. Kasi, di ba, cubic ito naman ay square. So, 3 minus 2 is 1. Okay? Hindi mo na kailangan ilagay doon na 8 centimeter, centimeter 1 raised to the ano. Alright, number 19. A family's monthly budget is 50,000. They spent 30,000 on plane tickets and 15,000 on food. What percentage of the budget is spent on food? Letter A, 20%, letter B, 25%, letter C, 30%, letter D, 35%. Okay. Okay, so ang sagot po niyan ay 30%. And I know this is very easy talaga. Ang magkakatalon, ang magpapabudol na lang sa'yo is if you have too much familiarity with the question. Kasi yung malala ko yung isang question na ganitong ganito din. And then laging lumalabas kasi naka-enroll ako sa parang 5, 5 review centers aside sa mahilig akong uh, mag-access sa mga ano, sa mga online sites. Okay? So too much familiarity. So ang sagot ko ang sagot ko was 90% kasi inad ko na kaagad yung 30 tsaka 15,000. So 45,000 over 50,000 and I came up with 90%. So laging yun kasi yung lumalabas all the time sa mga Mac boards. And then one time, dahil nga too much familiarity, hindi ko na binasa na ang tinatanong lang pala is percentage of the budget spent on ano ata yun, travel ata yun. So, pinalitan ko lang yung ano niya. So, nagmadali ako, 90% agad ako. Mali. Okay? So, sa actual, basahin nyo po hanggang sa dulo. Kasi, even dun sa SPLE June 2025, ang haba-haba ng tanong. So, too much familiarity. Marami nagkamali. Ang sinagot nila is reduction. Reduction. Pero ang tinatanong lang talaga doon, yung pinakahuli, ang tinatanong pala doon is yung kabisera. Okay, so that is why. So please, please, basahin nyo ng mabuti yung tanong. Okay, huwag kayong magmadali. What is the greatest common factor of 42 and 56? A, 7, letter B, 14, letter C, 21, and letter D, 28. Okay. Alright? So, ang sagot po niyan ay 14. Okay. So, andito siya. Ito, linagay ko lang dito para long cut ba? Para pwede nyo na ding pag-aralan. Okay? But of course, during the actual, okay, all you have to do is i-divide mo yung ano, ito yung mga given. I-divide mo na agad sa mga itong mga options, i-divide mo na agad sa numbers na given para syempre to save time. Ang ano lang, kung pwede kang mabudol dyan is kung hindi mo pipiliin yung largest possible number that divides, na dinidivide niya yung dalawang number. Okay, for example, sabihin mo 12 tsaka 18. Okay, 12 at tsaka 18. So, ano yung mga factors niya? Okay, pwede niyang factor is yung tamang factor niya is 2, 3, tapos 6. Tama ba? 2, 3, 6, 4, 8, 12, 6. Yeah. 2, 3, at saka 6. So, lahat factors niya yun. Pero ang tinatanong is greatest common factor. So, baka magkamali ka pa, mapili mo ay 3. Kasi tama naman siya eh. 'Di ba? Factor siya ng both numbers na 12 at saka 18. Pero hindi siya yung greatest, okay? Always choose your greatest love. Char, okay? So, ang greatest nun ay 6. Okay? So, dyan ka pwedeng mabudol and just be careful. Number 21, what is the best definition of algebra? Letter A, okay, lumabas din to. Ngayon, September, the study of numbers and their basic operations like addition and subtraction. Letter B, the branch of mathematics that uses symbols and letters to represent numbers and quantities in formulas and equation. Letter C, the advanced study of shapes, sizes, and the properties of space. Letter D, the mathematics of collecting, analyzing, and interpreting numerical data. Okay, so ang sagot niyan ay the branch of mathematics that uses symbols and letters to represent numbers and quantities in formulas and equation. Okay, ang alam ko sa ngayong September 2025 is lumabas tong quantities. Okay, dun sa panahon na to. Okay, so this is not verbatim, okay? Kasi minsan hindi nagkakaintindihan kasi may mga nagko-comment, hindi naman po yan ano, hindi naman po yan yung lumabas mismo or pati yung option. Hindi, wala naman pong lumabas na ganyan na option. Oh my God. Okay, so, hi. Let's use our coconut shell. 22. In which of the following real-life situation is algebra most directly and necessarily applied? Okay, most directly. Letter A, drawing realistic human faces. Letter B, creating a monthly budget to plan expenses and savings. Letter C, following a recipe to bake a cake. Letter C, choosing an outfit based on the weather. All right. Alright, so ang sagot niya ay creating a monthly budget to plan expenses and savings. Alright, why? Kasi 'di ba, you can even use variables nga dito, 'di ba? Yung halimbawa, let X be the expenses, alright? Let Y be the savings, 'di ba? And then i-ano mo pa nga to you can also even modify kasi kailangan mo siyang i-budget nga, 'di ba? So talagang mostly most directly and necessarily applied yung letter B. Okay, so nung nag-live ako sa TikTok, may sumagot na letter C, following a recipe to bake a cake. Okay, so nagagamit naman talaga yung formula, yung algebra to bake a cake. Pero yun nga, tama naman, nagpo-follow ka na nga lang 'di ba? Hindi siguro kapag you are making a recipe. So yon, you can apply algebra doon or you are modifying a recipe, okay? So yun, gumagamit ka. Okay, but you are just following, wala na yan. Fina-follow mo na yan Number 23, a student scored 86 on 2 exams and 78 on 3 exams. What is the average score of all 5 exams? Letter A, 80.8, letter B, 81.2, letter C, 82.0, and letter D, 83.5. Okay, so, yes, meron pa rin magkakamali dito. Okay? Because, ang ginawa nung iba is, inad na nila yung 86 tapos 78 divided by 2. Okay? Eh, hindi naman. Ang sinasabi niya, ano yung average score of all five exams? So, what you have to do is, two exams ay 86. So, 86 plus 86 plus three exams na 78. So, 86 plus 86 plus 78 plus 78 plus 78. And then you divided it by 5. So, 406 divided by 5 is 81.2. All right, number 24. What is the core focus of geometry? Okay, A, solving equations to find unknown values. Letter B, the study of patterns and sequences of numbers. Letter C, the mathematics of shape, size, relative positions of figures. Sorry, nakaupo ako sa bed. And the properties of space. Letter D, calculating the likelihood of events occurring. All right. Alright. So, ang sagot po niyan ay the mathematics of shape, size, relative positions of figures, and the properties of space. Okay, so lumabas daw ito ngayong September 2025. Nung SPLE naman, June 2025, itong sagot, yun yung tanong. Sabi niya, ano yung branch of mathematics that deals with shape, blah, 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 blah. And then, yeah, nasa ano is geometry, statistics, blah, blah, blah. Alright? Okay, so binaliktad lang pala ngayon. Okay, ang letter D, calculating the likelihood of events occurring. More on probability siya, di ba? Alright, the study of patterns and sequence of numbers. Number patterns. Andito na, number patterns and sequences to. Solving equations to find unknown values. Arithmetic, algebra. Alright? Hinahanap mo yung X mo. Number 25. In which field is the application of geometry most fundamental and structurally essential? Okay, so lumabas to. Letter A, painting. Letter B, sculpture. Letter C, architecture. And letter D, music. Alright, so letter C, architecture. Kasi pinaka-basic naman talaga ng architecture ang geometry. Without geometry, okay, paano gagawin ang architecture, okay? You may argue, okay? Kasi pwede sabihin talaga natin ang music medyo malayo na siya, 'di ba? Pwede sabihin natin talaga sculpture or even painting kasi painting is parang series of shapes and lines and whatnots, 'di ba? Pero kasi sa painting, pwede ka namang mag-paint ng abstract, 'di ba? You don't even have to follow certain patterns of shapes and lines and whatnots, 'di ba? Even the sculpture, 'di ba? So, let's go for architecture for this. Number 26. All right. Okay, alam niyo ba kasi mahilig akong magpa question of the day at saka trivia of the day. And natsambahan ko to na pinatrivia ko. So nung lumabas ngayong hindi common yan na lumalabas tong Fibonacci. Nung lumabas ngayon, parang natuwa talaga ako. Kasi may nagsabi sa akin, uy ma'am, yung pinatrivia mo na Fibonacci, lumabas. So parang, oh wow. Na lang ako kasi, uh, yung mga parang out of nowhere na napatrivia ko is lumabas, di ba? How cool is that? All right. So number 26. This is a famous sequence of numbers where each number is the sum of the two preceding ones. Okay? So, ito sabi niya, sum of the two preceding ones. So, 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 3, 5. 3 plus 5, 8. Ganun. Okay? It appears in many natural patterns such as the arrangement of leaves and flower petals. What is the name of this sequence? Okay, letter A, Pascal sequence. Letter B, Da Vinci sequence. Letter C, Fibonacci sequence. And letter D, linear sequence. Okay. So, ang sagot po niyan ay Fibonacci sequence. Alright. So, tong Pascal sequence, wala siya. Okay? Ang meron lang is Pascal triangle, okay? Yung sa Da Vinci sequence, okay, medyo maraming mabubudol dito kasi yung Da Vinci Code na sinulat ni Dan Brown, nabanggit kasi doon yung Fibonacci sequence doon. So, kung nabasa mo yon, pwede kang malito. Okay, ang linear sequence naman is ito, for example, yung 482. 12, 16, it's increasing, di ba? And it is increasing by a constant, increasing siya, nagamit yung constant number. So, 4, 8, 12, 16, okay? So, 4 yung constant number. So, it's either, ang linear sequence, it's either increasing or decreasing. Ang Fibonacci naman is, it's always increasing, okay? And then, the sum yung, i-add mo siya, yung preceding numbers. Alright. So, ito yung pinaano ko. Ito yung pina-trivia ko. So, linagay ko na dito. Kasi malay mo, next time, ito yung tatanong na, di ba? So, 27, the famous sequence where each term is the sum of the two preceding numbers was introduced to Western mathematics in the 13th century through a book of arithmetic problems involving the growth of an idealized rabbit population. Okay? Who was the Italian mathematician who first documented this sequence in his work, Liber Abaci? Abaci siguro yan, okay? Letter A, Leonardo da Vinci. Letter B, Luca Pacioli. Letter C, Leonardo da Pizza. Siguro, or Pisa. I don't know. Letter D, Archimedes. Okay. So, ang sagot niyan ay Leonardo da Pizza. Alright? So, basahin niyo mabuti yung mga tanong. Okay? Kasi, yes, it's true. Binabalik-baliktad lang talaga. Okay? So, maybe next time ang tatanungin, ano yung sequence, ano yung work na nagpapakita doon ng ang Fibonacci sequence o ang Liber Abaci. Alright? Alright. So, okay. Si Archimedes siya yung sa ano, sa Eureka moment dun sa Principle of Buoyancy. Right? Alam naman natin si Leonardo da Vinci is a Renaissance, ano siya, artist. Okay? Sa Luca Pacioli, hindi siya kilala but nakita ko was ano, more on accounting siya. All right, number 28. Who is traditionally credited as the father of algebra based on his contribution na pa to? Letter A, Euclid. Letter B, Diophantus. Letter C, Muhammad. Paano ba ano? I-pronounce to? Nakalimutan ko. Ibn? Musa al-Khwarizmi anyway. And letter D, Aryabhata. Alright? So, ang sagot po niyan ay Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi. Okay, dun sa book niya na Algebra, ata yan, kaya na-coin yung algebra. Alright. So, itong si Euclid is father of geometry. So, nung nagre-review ako, ito yung aking mnemonics. Okay, yung Euclid, letter E, father of geometry, E. Alright. Si Diophantus naman, ah, maraming nagpo-push daw na dapat siya yung father of algebra kasi siya naman talaga yung nauna na work on mga algebra ano in his book Arithmetica. All right? But sabi nga nila si Muhammad Ibn or okay, let's not pronounce it. Muhammad Musa al-Khwarizmi. Siya kasi yung yung parang nagturo siya ng algebra in a very elementary level, yung something that you can understand, okay? And unified version siya. All right? Samantalang yung kay Diophantus is parang ano na siya, masyado siyang mataas for for algebra. All right. Tong si Aryabhata, okay? So nothing ano naman sa kanya, nothing um nothing special. Ayoko naman gamitin 'yun. Parang nagbasa-basa ako, walang masyadong na 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 link sa kanya. Ang nabasa ko lang is ang pangalan niya talaga is Aryabhata I or Aryabhata the Elder. Yun ang ginagamit sa kanya kasi maraming Aryabhata daw. Alright, so to make him distinct from others, so this is ginagamit ang Aryabhata I or Aryabhata the Elder. Alright, number 21. In the lesson of the history of mathematics, a teacher highlights the contributions of women to challenge gender stereotypes in STEM. She discusses a scholar from ancient Alexandria, a renowned philosopher, astronomer, and mathematician who is the earliest female mathematician documented in history. She was the head of the Platonist school and was known for her commentaries on Diophantus and Apollonius. Who is this pioneering figure? Okay, sa haba-haba ng sagot, ang tanong talaga ay sino yung first female mathematician? Kay letter A, Hypatia, siguro ito. Letter B, Maria Getena Agnesi. Letter C, Sofia Kovalevskaya. And letter D, Emily du Charelay, siguro to. Alright? Or Emil. Emil siguro ito. Dusha Chatelet. Alright? So, ang sagot po niyan ay Hypatia. Alright? So, first female, Hypatia. Okay. Hi! So, itong si Maria Gaetana Agnesi, more on calculus siya. Si Emily, kilala din pala itong si Emile du Chatelet dahil dun sa, yung most notable work niya is yung pag-translate niya sa Newton's Principia. Alright, so itong si Sofia Kovalevskaya, okay, in case lang naman lalabas, but I don't think so. There's a low probability. Case, siya yung first na um, Russian na nagmaster, okay? Nagmaster sa ano, sa math. Number 30, a grade 8, the last one, a grade 8 mathematics teacher introduced a unit on geometry by stating our study of points, lines, planes, and angles for the next few weeks is largely based on the work of single individual, often called the father of geometry. Okay, the teacher is most likely referring to the author of which seminal text. Okay, letter A, the sand reckoner, letter B, the method, letter C, the elements, and letter D, conics. Alright, and ang sagot ay the elements. Okay, so EEE lang ang dapat nyong isipin yun. Yung kanina, sabi ko, yung father of geometry is Euclid. Okay, GE, Euclid. Ang kanyang book ay The Elements. Elements. Okay, EEE. Alright? Okay, so sinulat ko na rin to kasi namalay natin, anything goes nga. The Sand Reckoner, okay, is by Archimedes. Even the method is also by Archimedes. And yung conics ay by Apollonius of Perga. Okay? So, focus niyo yung ellipses, parabolas, and hyperbolas. Okay, yung mga sinusulat ko dito, kaya yung mga linalagay ko dito, huwag niyong basta-basta walain kasi we will never know what will come out. Alright? Okay, so thank you once again. This is Smarter Together with Miss KF, and I hope susubaybayan niyo yung mockboard ko sa Facebook and yung live ko sa TikTok and of course yung mga videos ko na linalagay sa YouTube. Okay? Maraming maraming salamat po. Kamsahamnida. Alright.